I personally think gold is going to hit $3,000 within the next year. And it's obviously going to hit a bunch of different points on the way there. And we're going to lay it all out with the technical analysis, all of the reasoning and basis behind it to support it, and show you exactly how you can figure these things out for yourself for every other market. Because the analysis that we are about to do is going to work for pretty much every single market, stock, ticker, whatever it is. You can use it to figure out what you're going to be looking at when you are trading up against new all-time highs like we are in Bitcoin and like we are in gold right now. So with that being said, gold is probably going to go to around $2,750 in the short term, as well as going up to about $2,900 in the midterm. And long term, I'm looking for a more $3,000 or more price per ounce on gold. So do you want to know exactly how and why I think that? Then make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom! Bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Now, let's go see how we can make some serious gains off of the XAU USD gold pair. And don't get it twisted. You can trade this inside of crypto too at PaxG. PAXG, which is Paxos Gold, and it is pegged directly to the price of gold. So if you're a crypto trader, this also applies to you. But let's get into the charts and let's see exactly what it is that crazy old Drew is talking about and why I think gold is going to have a $3,000 price point very soon. Now, the first thing we're going to do is go to our gold chart and plot our support and resistance points. I've already done that for you. Feel free to use them, check them out. I also put the 50, the 100, and the 200-day moving average on my chart. You can see them right over here if you click right here. The SMMA 50, 100, and 200. The 50 is blue, the 100 is red, and the 200 is green. I've already got all your supports and resistance here. Bing, bang, boom. Pick whatever indicators you like. For me, I choose RSI, I choose MACD, I choose stochastic RSI, and I also choose the momentum as well as VPVR, which shows you where these high volume nodes are, where you can actually go and get confluence, which basically means just further conviction and confidence in your trade setup. And I actually have a course coming out inside of Verified Investing where you can actually go and be taught directly by me on exactly how to trade gold and profit from it. And you can go and check this out in the coming weeks and months. And I will surely let you know as soon as this course comes out. But enough of all that. Let's get into the actual technical analysis. That way you can actually make some money to afford that course, right? If you so happen to choose to. If you don't, whatever. Okay, so as you can see, I'm on the daily chart. You can see that the stochastic RSI has actually moved up. And what I mean by that is if you go over to the very last candle, you can see in the bottom left that the stochastic RSI is actually at 65.05 and the signal line is at 49. Once that signal line crosses the 50 level, both of the lines will be in the bullish territory. But there was a signal line cross just a few days back, and that is very good news for bulls in this market. You can also see that the momentum is curling upwards and is reaching the point where it is going to be in the bullish territory. So right now it's at about 37.62. We want to see it above 40 to 50 in order for us to confirm that that is indeed bullish, but it is heading in the right direction. Secondarily, if we look at MACD, we can see that the signal line is about to be crossed because the MACD line is starting to curl up. The MACD line is at 29.43 and the signal line is at 30.69. MACD is about to cross that signal line potentially. So that's something you're going to want to look at. And you can also see right here that the MACD is starting to wear off on the bearish side, and you can see that right here. And if you want tutorials on MACD and all these different indicators, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that way you can actually get good training on how to use these tools and what they mean and what they show you. Then lastly, you can see that the RSI is actually at 67.83, which is in bullish territory, and it is trending upwards and has crossed the signal line, which was at 62.94. Crossed it a few days ago. You see what happened. We bounced off of this support right at the $2,600 level, and I was actually talking about this inside of the Verified Investing community, inside of our trading group that is obviously a paid group And if somebody actually took the advice on this trade, they are up big right now because gold just smashed through and created new all-time highs today. Now, here are all of your support and resistance lines. And the last thing that I want to incorporate is my VPVR. We have a massive high volume node right here in the 2640 to about 2660 range. This is a good place to either take an entry or set your stop loss just outside of it. Because if we lose this level right here, we're probably coming all the way down here to about $2,530. And if we lose these levels, our next major support is going to be at the $2,500 range, right around here, where you can see our support line, as well as these two high volume nodes right here in the 2485 to about $2,534 range. And those are the previous tops of the gold markets, where you can see it actually tested that quite substantially with decent sized volume. You can see the massive volume here, and you can see the pretty decent sized volume here where it tested, boom, got rejected, right? Came back down to our support line, bing bong, boom, blasted through it, set new all-time highs, bam. RSI started to curl upwards, boom, we set a new all-time high. Nice. Now, let's get into why I think gold is actually going to go to $3,000. And this is going to be the Fibonacci's. So, first and foremost, this Fibonacci, it is from the previous range low to the new parabolic all-time high, right? So from about the $1,450 range all the way up to the new all-time high that it set right around $2,000, okay, about $2,078. Let's do some high-level TA on this. If you take that extension, and I'm going to get rid of all these trend lines so you can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about, and we will put them back up because I want you to see the confluence that comes with these trend lines as well. If you see where that first Fibonacci extension comes out at 1.618, it's at about the $2,460 level. What happened? We went all the way up months and months later, obviously this was years later, to that 1.618, which is right around the $2,500 level. We tested it 1, 2, 3, 4 different times before we eventually broke through, which is where we are today. And then the next level after that is the $3,100 level that we are trying to make our way up to. Obviously, there are different levels that we have to hit in order to get there, and we're going to talk about those in just a second. But I want to do the TA on this actual Fibonacci pull right here before we get into all of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in a little bit. That way you can see this a lot more clear. So you pulled this Fibonacci from the previous low, which was actually the previous all-time high, right? And you take it all the way up to the top, where is the new all-time high. Then you can see that it actually respects these levels quite substantially, being the 0.382 and the 0.236. So we lost 0.786 relatively quickly, and we came back down to the 0.5 after we lost the 0.618, which is conveniently called the golden pocket. But you can see we actually tested the 0.618 multiple times, and we kind of teeter-tottered at the 0.786 for quite a while. Then we came back up, tested this as resistance, got rejected twice, which means we are probably going to fall through that 0.618 yet again after we had regained the golden pocket. So boom, we fell right back through it, and the 50 did not hold as support, the 0.5. We went all the way down to the 0.382, went back up, blew through the golden pocket, got rejected at the 0.786, came right back down to the 0.5, retested the golden pocket again, kind of got caught in this little area where we were range trading a little bit. Obviously, we had this nice little wick down here back to the 0.382, which would have been a great place to enter. And then boom, we kind of bing bonged in between the 0.618 and the 0.5. Then we went back up, retested the previous all-time high, got rejected, and came all the way back down to this 0.236. Then you start to see this proverbial turning of the tides in our indicators. You see momentum starting to trend up. You see your MACD starting to trend up. And you see your RSI starting to trend up when the price is going down. This is a bullish divergence, and then boom, we blasted back up, did not stop, went all the way through to the 0.5, back tested, came back up through the 0.618, didn't even back test, went right through the 0.786, back tested the 0.618, and caught a little bit of support here at the 100-day moving average. Now you'll see this happen a lot. Then we blasted back through, tried to set a new all-time high, didn't quite work, came back, retested the golden pocket. We're setting higher highs and higher lows, breaking the structure of this downtrend. And then boom, we blast through, we go all the way up, and then we blast through after we test the 1.618, 1, 2, 3, 4 different times, boom, blast through it, right? Now, that kind of brings us up to present day. This is why I say that I think that $2,750 range, or to be more specific, the $2,746 range is the next price target for gold, other than the $2,700 range, which is a psychological level, and there is a level there as well. Why? Because I took the low of this range from the old top down to the bottom of that range, and I drew it to the all-time high, okay? And then we extended it out. Where did we go? We went up past the 1.618, back tested it, tried to go up again, back tested it, boom, used it as support. The moving averages right here started to get where they needed to be, which is the 50 above the 100, which is above the 200, which is a bullish indication, okay? Now we are here at present day, approaching the 2.618, and I could see the 2.618 bringing us back down to our key support levels right here around the 2,600, all the way down to potentially the $2,500 range that you're seeing here, which was the previous all-time highs. So we will likely get a cooling off period, but probably not much of a move downwards unless these moving averages really start to curl. And with as much momentum gaining as possible and the volume continually starting to rise for gold, it's looking like this upward trajectory is going to continue. Now, where is the next level after that? The 3.618 is right at the $3,176 level. Now, I want to show you how this lines up with other Fibonacci's that you can pull, which is this new fixed range from the previous all-time high that we set. After this all-time high, we set a new one right here. If you measure from the bottom of this new all-time high all the way up to the new all-time high that was printed right here before we had some significant back testing, you will see exactly what happened in the chart there as well. And surprise, surprise, the 0.382 held up as support multiple times here, and then we actually broke through to a new all-time high. And surprise, surprise, the 0.618 held up as support multiple times here until we eventually broke through and then extended out almost exactly to the 1.618. This stuff is textbook. So now we're eyeing $3,034 as the next potential level. But I want to break it down a little bit further than that. And I want to show you the levels that are going to be coming in between that, because we already know about the $2,740 some odd dollar level right here, right? But what are the other levels that come after this new all-time high that we just set? Well, the next level, the 1.618, is right in the $2,829 range. And then guess what? The 2.618, right at $3,000. We are seeing a massive level of confluence saying long-term, $3,000 is where gold is going. Now, could it absolutely come back down here to the $2,500 level? Absolutely. And I honestly think that it probably will, because it's going to need a cooling off period like any healthy market does, as we've seen here. Takes a little cooling off period, continues up. As we saw here, takes a nice little cooling off period, makes a nice move up. We see this happening in the chart pretty much everywhere. Here, nice little cooling off period, next move up all the way over to here. So my bias is that my take profit level on a short-term trade in the $2,690 range all the way down to this $2,660 range, that is where I would probably be entering. Anywhere in the $2,500 to $2,660 range is probably a good long-term place to enter a long-term trade on gold to take it potentially up to your first take profit level at $2,750 or $2,746 more specifically, and the $2,800 range would be the next target after that, with the eventual $2,900 to $3,000 range being the next target after that. So with all that being said, I do truly see gold short term going to about $2,750, give or take a few dollars. And I showed you exactly why. Secondarily, midterm, I see it heading to that $2,830 to $2,850-ish range. And then long term, I'm seeing gold go to $3,000 plus, and that's only measuring out to the 2.618 Fibonacci. If we go to the 3.618, we're getting into some more meat and potatoes, some really juicy gains in the $4,000 range on pretty much every single one of these Fibonacci pulls and retracements. So, with that being said, hopefully this shows you some levels to get in and exactly where the gold markets could be potentially going. I'm going to give you some brief analysis that I just did on gold as a bonus, just in case you want to take an actual trade on gold and see how it works out and test my theories. Test it with $5 for all I care. Hold me accountable. Let's go out and kill it in the gold markets together. Now, I'm going to read this off because obviously you saw most of this in the video. The levels to watch out for a take profit target from a long trade right now, if you want to be in a short-term long trade, is about $2,702 all the way up to $2,704. Then you have your second target, which is going to be that $2,746 to $2,760 range. Then you've got your long-term targets or more mid-term targets of $2,830 and your long-term target being more around the $3,000 range. Now, why do I think this? Because the RSI is in bullish territory right now, and it crossed the signal line. The stochastic RSI is in bullish territory right now, and it just crossed the signal line. The MACD is setting higher highs and higher lows on its way to bullish territory with a potential cross of the signal line coming in the next few days. You also have your momentum curling upwards into bullish territory, and you have your 50 moving average above your 100, which is above your 200 moving average, and they are all on an incline going up and to the right. These can also be used as support levels when you get a retest. So you have your key support levels at that high volume node that I was talking about from the $2,600 to $2,640 range. So you have your major support at that high volume node short-term wise from the $2,636 to $2,660 range. Then you have a little bit more midterm support at the $2,600 range, and you have a massive support level from about $2,486 up to about $2,530, which is where those previous all-time highs were and those high volume nodes are, and where you are going to see your support and resistance lines converging with those moving averages to act as key levels of support. So if we break down here, we could see a retest of that $2,500 level. I don't see it happening right now because there are way too many indicators showing bullish sentiment in the interim. I am long, and I'm actually in a long trade right now that I'll show you just to prove it before we get off of this call, before we get off of this video. So as you can see, I am long on PAXG right now on the Avatar Prop Fund trading platform, which I am actually taking a prop fund challenge right now to see if I can turn $280 into $10,000 worth of a prop fund trading account. So if you want to watch that series and you want to join along with me and kind of have fun with it with me, make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you can watch how this series actually goes and watch my trades and see how they play out in the interim. I actually entered once we cracked the new all-time high of about $2,685. So I entered at about $2,687, and my profit targets, as you can see, are at about the $2,761 level, and I will probably move them down to about $2,740 something whenever we get closer to time, and I can revisit and look and see what the indicators are telling me, RSI, momentum, MACD, all of those, stochastic RSI, VPVR, all that stuff. So with that being said, if you like content like this and you want to learn how to trade, that is what we will be doing on this channel. We will be talking about gold and Bitcoin basically exclusively. We'll teach you indicators. We'll teach you trading patterns. We will teach you charting. We will teach you all the indicators. We will teach you candlesticks and candlestick clusters, and we will teach you everything that you need to know, hopefully all in one place on this channel so you can go out and kill it for yourself. So if you like content like this, obviously, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom. Bang on the notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up to this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.